clapping for that Jeep.
Yeah, well, that's very nice of them. You all right over there?
You can't see it, but I got stuck on a cord. There's quite a bit of cords underneath me. All right, we're back. We are back, and we have a topic that, honestly, I don't know shit about, but we're going to talk about it.
Great.
And we're looking for some comments and your experience and what you guys think about it, because it's really interesting, right? So what we're going to talk about today is gearing, right? Gearing. So what was your factory gearing?
I think it was 410.
Rubicon, right?
Yeah.
410.
Mm-hmm.
And you went to...
I think I went to 456.
488?
488, yeah, whatever. 489.
Whatever
something
it
like
takes.
that. Yeah, 488, I think, in the Dana 44s.
Okay, and then with these 60s?
538s.
Okay, so 538s. So you made a big jump.
Yeah. You may not know this, unless you've been wheeling with me. I really don't drive very well. So I'll take any advantage that I can. So yeah, big tires, big gears. Fuck yeah, America.
All right, so I think that's the first part, right? Tire size is going to determine some of that, right? Like for sure, and a little bit if you're automatic or standard. That really changes some things too, because the standards, that first gears are generally geared lower than anything in an automatic.
The granny gear, as we used to say.
I mean, I don't think that's been a thing for about 30 years, but sure.
Well,
Granny gear. If you didn't know, other than first, there was an L on the shifter that you could put it in, and
which was first gear, and so if you had L, then the 1 was a 2. It's all marketing.
all right. So, what was the biggest size tires you had on your 44s?
39 reds.
And how did it do with the 488s?
Pretty good.
Okay,
It did pretty well.
all right.
But it was just too much tire for those axles. They held up pretty well.
So, what made you make the jump from 488s to 538?
Big tire, big axle.
No math or anything, though.
No, it's all crawling. Well, there is some math, right?
But did you do any of it?
Yeah, I probably looked at that chart. I don't know if I did or not. But I bet if we did, I bet I'd be right where I need to be for that tire.
All right. So, what are some disadvantages of 538s?
I don't know. I'm like you. I don't really know shit about this topic. I've heard, right? Taller gears don't have the strength that shorter ones do. Hasn't been an issue for me so far.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I guess if you were running at highway speeds,
For sure.
if you want to drive 80 miles an hour on the interstate, yeah, 538 is probably not the best selection for you, right? But I don't have a crawl box. I don't have an Atlas. I have my stock transfer case.
Which is?
4-1.
Okay.
And, I can put that thing in first gear and, there's a lot of stuff that it'll just walk over. I don't have to use the accelerator at all, especially if I lock the front and just let it kind of pull me, So, for what we do, I like it. I like having those gears for crawling. Not the best for buzzing around on Sand Mountain in the sand,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
That sand sucks.
neither is having a friggin' boat, This,
All right. Well, that brings me to my point, I guess. And I don't know. I wonder if the tire size is a limit that makes that different, right? So for mine, my TJ factory has a 3-speed automatic. It came with 307 gears, and my 4 low was 2.72. So,
right. And what was the factory tire size?
I don't know,
Probably 31.
30s, 31, something like that,
Yeah.
right? So on the highway, it was great. But when I went out, when I was first doing this, I couldn't get over anything because I had to rev the engine so high to get the tires to turn, right? So that was my problem, right? So I re-geared to 456s, and I've been on 456s through 35s, 37s, and 40s. I did finally, it's been a while, but I changed out my transfer case as well. Went to the Atlas. And my Atlas is 3.8 and 4 low, and then I double it and it goes to 10-1. Right? But I'm still on my 456s and I never double my Atlas.
Well, I do think it's a function of tire size, right? So there's a chart. Everybody's probably seen it. And, it's just a grid that'll, you align your tire size with the gear. And when I went to 488s for the 38s that I ran prior to the Reds, that was the ratio, right? And then everything's easy. Program the computer, shift points are there, right? It just works. And that's probably how I ended up at these gears. I just don't remember.
So my question is, am I missing out?
Maybe. But again, when you're crawling...
Well, that's what I mean. I'm crawling at 456.
Right. And you're not having any problems.
And 3.8.
So
I'm not even 4-1.
Right. So no, I don't think you're missing out. I think where you miss out is if you want things to work well off the trail, right? Then having that ratio makes everything easier. Makes it easier for your transmission. And,
well, what makes it easier? The 456 makes it easier, right?
well, having the gear ratio relational, right, to the tire size. So you're not, you don't have a tire that's bigger than what's optimal for your gears, and vice versa.
I don't really know, right? It's interesting because you've gone up to such big gears and I haven't changed at all. I don't even know what I would do. Maybe we should change my gears. As much as we like doing gears.
If it's working, don't mess with it.
But could it be working better?
Maybe.
I'm looking up this gear chart.
It could also be working worse. So
Whoa. There are quite a bit of gear charts. Holy cow. Who knew? I apparently did not see this when I was doing mine.
apparently there's a whole field of automotive engineering. I've heard about it.
So this first one I pulled up, I don't know who it's from. 31s, 456 to 488. 32s, 456, 488. 33s, 488 to 529. 35s, 488, 529. And 35 and bigger, 529 and up.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that chart.
All right, well, it's something interesting, right?
But yeah,
Especially...
I think the point is there's data out there, right? You can see how many of those different charts kind of agree with each other and make an informed decision from there.
Well, now I feel like I'm cheating on myself.
Maybe you are.
What would that do for me? Let me crawl slower?
I don't know. Told you I don't know anything about this. Why are you asking me?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good question. I think if you're listening, right, post what you're running, right, and how it's working for you, tire size, gear size, and what your transfer case is at, and if you have an Atlas or whatever, but just what it's at.
And is it something that just happened, or something that,
Yeah, did you pick it? Did you plan it, or you're like me and just, I don't even know. I feel like I'm missing out. We left this here.
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about that secret last time, so it's not a secret.
Not anymore. That's good. Yeah. So, anyways, well, I wanted to talk about gears just to get people's opinions and see, because again, I have not changed anything. I don't know if I should change anything now, and I don't know what it would do for me, because I don't really use the gas, and I don't really need it in what we do, right? Like, I can crawl over things, all right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting. I wonder if I went to 42s, if it would really, I'd really feel it. Surely I'm at the top.
You'd feel a lot of things.
Surely I'm at the top of 456s.
Probably at the top of the list would be the pain in your wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. We're members of that. We follow that Facebook group, the Gear Install Technical Group.
Yeah.
Man, that's fun. Last episode, you were talking about how mean people are on social media.
Boy, they even have rules.
Those guys are so brutal.
Yeah.
And that's Gear Install Group.
And you have to post your questions in a specific way, or they really get mad at you. Right.
But it's great information.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
Great, but man, the stuff you see on there, the things that can go wrong with a ring and pinion. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm really at a loss. I don't know what I should be doing. I guess I'm just going to leave it because it works, but
I would. It's working great.
I feel like I'm missing out now.
I wouldn't do anything to it unless it stops working great. But as long as it's working great, I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah, I guess they're strong. That's the one thing I can say. Being that low or higher, whichever way. I don't even know which way that goes. 456 is tall or
taller?
Taller. Okay.
But lower numerically. Right? And there's a carrier split in there too somewhere. All right.
Enough of that nonsense.
Man, now you're really getting off into the weeds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's online if you need to know. Anyways, I just wanted to bring it up. I thought it'd be something to talk about and explore and really see what everybody else is on, because I think I've talked to a couple people and they're like, oh, what do you gear down? I'm like, 456. And they're like, oh, you have the Atlas. And I'm like, yeah, it's just 3.8 though. I never double it. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, maybe I should double it.
Maybe you should. Maybe
now that I have brakes, it'll stop it. That's really my concern before, is when it was doubled on the smaller axles, the brakes wouldn't stop it. It just pulled through it. But I don't know. I don't seem to need it. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Good. Anything else?
No. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, this is a quick one for you. We appreciate it. Comment. Let us know.
Yeah. Let's get together. Let's go wheeling.
Yeah.
See you on the trails.
We'll see you out there.